Now that we have created our client needs analysis for Sarah Buckman, we can now move on to the product search. So under process checklist, we click on product search. And our product search tab will be opened up. Now what we need to do here is make sure that we have all of our boxes selected appropriately so that we can make it an appropriate search of the market. Now, a couple of things that we need to look at here. If we firstly look at, our lenders selection, I'll take a little quick step back from there. At the top here, we have our product search. The product shortlist is where we want our selected products to end up. You'll notice that I've got 4 there already. It's because I've already used this Sarah Buckman application for previous training. But we'll show you how to get another product on the shortlist, which we can then drag across into simulation and comparison and serviceability, and eventually into the preliminary assessment. Okay, let's go back. Our product search, we look at our lenders. Now, there's 35 lenders here. Now, why I've got 35 lenders is because in my broker settings, under my profile, I've selected 35 lenders. If I only had 8 on my panel and I'd only selected 8 in my broker settings in my profile, I'd only have 8 to choose from them here. But beyond that, as I said, I've got 35 lenders here, but I can then get rid of them all and then hand pick the ones that I want, or I can just go back simply and just eliminate a couple there that I don't want. And I might just, and I'm not, that's just to demonstrate how to get rid of some that you might not want in your search parameters. You just do that. Now, remembering Sarah Buckman only wanted the big 4. So what we would do for that is then go click on all to nil. We then pick up ANZ. We then want Commonwealth Bank. And then right at the bottom, we want NAB and we want Westpac. They're our big 4. You'll see 4 selected there, and then we can move on to our loan amount. Now, what you will see from time to time, or a lot of the time, the default setting here is 250. So you've got to make sure that your loan amount is adjusted appropriately. Your LVR is a correct reflection. Your property use, in this case, is investment. Repayment type, we want P&I. Victoria is where the property is, or where the client is. We're going for variable, and then we can go for the loan type is full doc. And again, we can then move into our common features. So if they wanted a redraw, if they wanted a split loan, whatever it may be. Remember again, if you're not sure, don't just go through ticking any, because you might be eliminating products that are quite suitable for, or suitable in terms of the client's needs. Now, before I hit on search up here, I want to just show you another quick thing. You'll see here that we've got no results, and the results will show up down the bottom here. Up here in favorite search, I've got none at the moment, but I've got a number to choose from here. So if I wanted to be, let's call it lazy, or I wanted to have a starting point for which I could look at product specs for, in this case, Sarah Buckman's looking for an investment. So I could select the investor standard, and that would bring up the general criteria for investment loans. And then if Sarah had any other criteria to impose on top of that, I could simply add that. So just remember, that is all there. Owner occupied, first home buyer, refinance. So they're all pre-populated in there for you. And we've got none, and we've got more options that you can do as a result as well. So loan details, features and benefits, fees and charges, acceptable securities. So what we do is we start to get into here, into the specifics of lenders. So what's an acceptable security for them, and acceptable income as well. And now, what we do want to do now is hit search, and you'll see here that I've got 21 there, and there are the big 4 lenders. Now, I've got 4 already in my product shortlist. I'm just simply going to pick one of these products, and I've just selected the Flexi First option investment. Now, for no other reason than demonstration, by clicking on this box, it will automatically, and I'll get a pop-up box there saying that it's automatically been added in the shortlist. So what that means is now I'll have 5 in there, which you can see. I'll grab the product shortlist in a moment. In terms of analysing products that have been offered in terms of your search, you can look at it now a number of different ways. So you can look at it from an initial rate perspective. So if I wanted low to high, I simply click on the initial rate on the heading of the column, and it sorts it low to high. If I wanted high to low, I just reverse that around. And now the lowest is down the bottom and the highest up the top. Revert rate, comparison. I can go and look at these products using these filters simply by clicking on those filters. The generic filter system is ABC by lender. And that's the generic filter that it is proposed to you when you do your search. Okay, let's pop up and have a look here. I'll go into the product shortlist. Now, what I've got here is 5 products, 2 of which are Westpac, ANZ, NAB, and CBA. Now, I can remove one of them, and what I'll do is I'll remove that Flexi First that I've just put in there. It was just simply to show you how to get a product on to the product shortlist. But what you'll see that I can do now, I can click on all of these, or I can simply click on just one. I'm actually going to click on 2 of them, just to show you. I can look at lender documents as well. That'll ask me just for one, sorry. But this is the one that I want to show you more, is the view product details. So by doing this, what it actually does is put my products side by side, so I can then make a more detailed analysis of the products. So the first page, when I'm doing my product search, I can filter by column. Now I can look at the specifics of each. So for instance, I can see interest only, max period 10 years for CBA, 5 for NAB. That might be a decisive factor for our client, Sarah, in the long run. So if she wants 10, then CBA might be a more preferred solution for her. But you'll see that we can go through and see the different facets of each loan compared to each other. And that gives you a better analysis in the end. You could then simply print, and by doing that, you are saving this document comparison. So our suggestion up front would be, this is a comparison for you, the broker only, not for the client. It's up to you if you want to pass it on to the client, but it's really there proposed to be an analysis for you and the broker. So what we would do then is simply hit save. Before I take you down that path, I just want to explain, these up the top here are not in the correct regulatory order. You can flick around to those if you want, but we would recommend that you don't. You simply complete this particular component, being the product search, and then we can move on to the next step in the process checklist. So it's all been saved. I can close that now. And now the product search has been completed. My next step in the regulatory process is simulation and comparison. So on that note, we'll leave you there. And now you need to look out for the simulation and comparison for Sarah Buckman. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.